All right, welcome everybody to Celeste Any Percent presented by GSA. My name is Zojalix, and we are looking at the first match of Season 2 here, featuring Archie Gaming's Marlin and top 4 finisher of Season 1, Chaikitty. I'm here joined by my good friend Troy of Athens. Now, as we go and look at this first match, Chaikitty was able to pull out a 4th place finish, I believe, in Season 1, moving into the top 4 and performing at pace. And then Marlin just recently coming through, dominating, taking first place in the qualifiers as well as taking world record. So I'm really excited for this match. We're looking at some very, very good runners. We've got like 19 seconds, I think, separate them from their personal best. Both of them achieving a 27, which has only been done by a few people. And so I'm really excited for this match. Troy, how excited are you for this match?
I mean, I'm pretty excited to just get into it. It's going to be good stuff. We can see Marlin trying to do some corner boost stuff. Now we're just getting some cool things and cool backup.
That is a very cool backup. Looks like he's going to maybe do like a reverse hyper or something. Or maybe he's just trying to pull out some swag here.
Well, the fastest way is to not take that spring at all. So
that's
what
true.
He's going
yeah.
for. So yeah, we got
22 out of golden berries are a thing.
Yeah, golden berries. Yep.
I was like, why does that say 22 out of 20?
Because there are 2 golden berries, a winged one and a regular one.
All right, looks like Marlin is going to be setting up his file name. For those of you guys who are just joining us new to the Celeste Any Percent, every single one of the runners will be renaming their file to the specific file name that is given right before the race. That is a cheat prevention method, just so that way runners are not able to bring in a pre-recorded run and use that. Just that way we ensure that there's fair game going on between between both of the runners.
I can bring in some. I mean, we do still have the stats from Season 1. Keep in mind that it's Season 1, and there's been a lot of progression with the how the game's been played in the months. Like, honestly, this game has progressed so much since the last time we've seen it. So
yes,
I can't even really accurately talk about that stuff, really, now thinking about it.
So now it looks like, at least, yep, both runners are getting started. Let's get hyped. We've got the first match coming at you. Quick sync up of the streams happening. Shoutouts to GS. Oh, and Chaikitty's got a death in the prologue. What a way to start out the season. Oh, yes, that is rough.
And yeah, I do see people asking. There have been some, I believe there are a few pre-recorded ones, but this one is live.
Yep, this one is in fact live. So now we've got Marlin coming out with a pretty early lead now, considering Chaikitty taking a death in prologue. That's going to be a rough way to start it out, but you know what? He's going to shrug it off. And I think I still, even though a death in the prologue is a couple of seconds right off the bat, I still do not count Chaikitty out in any way, shape, or form. He's been putting a lot of time pushing for that 27, pushing for those ILs as best he can. I don't know if he still has it, but I know he held the resort IL record for a while, and will definitely be keeping eyes on that chapter for him, that being one specific that he grinded out for a while. But again, Marlin, he showed up, got a 27, taking the world record, got a 27:34 within the last 24 hours. And so that is very, very impressive. And oh, did you not know that?
No.
Yeah, Marlin got a 27:34.
What is his? Okay.
Yep.
I knew he was good.
Of it today.
Okay. I did not even get a chance to. I have work and stuff. I just ate. I came home, ate dinner, and that was it. That's all I've done.
Yep. So yeah, that's something you're missing out on. So,
I'm sorry, I have a job.
Hey, I watched it at work. Don't be judging me, Troy. All right, so Marlin comes out with a 101 City, 137, I think was his actual. Oh no, 137 for Chai. So it's about a 6-second difference there between the two runners. Pretty standard too, even with the death in the prologue. Not at all that big of a gap. So Coming into Old Site, one thing that is kind of interesting to notice, I'm kind of glance at the stats from Season 1, is Old Site was actually Chaikitty's worst chapter in the regular season. It'll be interesting to see. I didn't see him do too much of it, so I don't know how much is going to be different in comparison.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, like, honestly, from the first season, I don't even know how much of this we can really fully carry over. I'm just like, looking at this
true.
now.
Even though it's only been 3 months since the end of Season 1, there's still a lot that changes in any speed game in a 3 months time.
Yeah, his best time in Season 1 was a 28:31, and he's gotten a little bit better than that since
Just
then.
a little bit better.
Just a tiny bit.
Oh, yeah, Marlin still, you know, coming out, putting in a very clean Old Site. Yeah, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, Marlin, he had come through, didn't even compete in Season 1, and so I put this out on Twitter. I know not too many people follow me on Twitter, but that's whatever. He came out, didn't even compete in Season 1, and then came through, dominated the qualifiers, has taken world record from TGH, and so I personally think Eyes as the up-and-coming newcomer to keep your eyes on this season is Marlin. He just
lost some momentum there.
Yeah, lost a little bit of momentum, but that's okay. But like I said, you know, comes out, he's coming in swinging into GSA, and so it'll be really interesting to see how if his consistency will continue to carry over from the race part of it versus just PB attempts. So Chaikitty able to make up a little bit of ground here in this awake section as Marlin kind of stumbles a little bit. We're seeing a 320 out from Marlin, and Chaikitty only a couple seconds behind with still 326, so still about that 6-second lead for Marlin here in this match. Troy, as we get this little bit of downtime, because you're the numbers guy, I'm not, why don't you go ahead and explain how the point system is going to be working this season?
So the point system, if you're familiar with the other leagues that have been going on in GSA, it should be a good way of giving you a parallel for this, because we're going pretty much with the same exact system. It is a best of one, and so the winner will get 60 points of each match, and then there's 30 points between the two players that will be divvied up based on the finish difference of the two players.
Yeah, so no matter what, even if you lose your match, you're still able to take some points. Now, Marlin does take a death there a couple of screens back, so Chaikitty able to make up a little bit of ground here. Now,
by the way, that gap is about it is a 5-minute gap still.
5-minute gap. All right.
Yeah, so it's still the same as what it comes from any SMO. I just double checked on the rule sheet. Yeah. So as long as he's within 5 minutes, he'll still be given points and 10 seconds for every point.
And I don't think there's any runners this season that are even within a 5-minute gap of their PBs. So it'll be really interesting to see how that all pans out.
Yeah, it's gonna cause a lot of fighting within the ranks.
Yeah, definitely looking to see a lot of changes between the ranks of all players. I honestly this season you're not going to be able to really predict anything, especially this. I mean, granted, it is week 1. This is the first match of the season, but it is always so hard to. Usually, sometimes you can get a pretty good base on who you think is going to come out on top.
That trick is so crazy. You didn't even see that, but that is crazy. There's the spike jump that happens that you saw Chaikitty do, but then there's the spike jump that Marlin just did, which is essentially set up for the spike jump using the previous screen.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize go into the Celeste runs is everything is routed out, including the way that you transition from screen to screen. And that makes it a lot almost that much more difficult of a run, because if your screen transition is a little off, that can mess up the entire way that you have to play through each individual screen at that point.
Like there, that was a bit too high in the dash, and he was not able to get the corner boost that he wanted.
Yeah, and Chaikitty there is a little bit too low, so he's unable to get the corner boost himself.
Yeah, so it's just little things of getting ready with your dashes. Momentum carries over through screen transitions, so that's another thing.
Yep.
And
that,
so,
I don't know. So yeah, it can have a huge difference. Oh, Chaikitty getting himself a little bit stuck on the corner there.
Yeah, you can see Chai not too happy with what happened on that screen.
Yeah, that one is
love
one
the
of
additions of webcams that he got sometimes.
yeah, definitely able to get a little bit more involved with the players and seeing how they feel about their performances in the middle of it, because we know that a lot of times that can. And one of the things,
Marlin first try on the demo.
Marlin taking a first try
right
demo,
after.
but then dies right afterwards. Chaikitty, him getting the first try demo as well. He is right on Marlin's heels.
Not too happy with that cycle in that room though.
Yeah. So right now, only looking at about a 4-5 second difference between the two runners. So Chaikitty is able to make up at least about a second through as we go into this Oshiro section. This one, honestly, it's so weird because like the Oshiro section has a lot going on.
I mean, I would say like there is stuff that I could comment on, but basically like since the last time we've seen this in GSA, a lot of these screens have actually gone through reworking of getting faster outs, and there were a couple ones that like when I see them I'm just like, that is ridiculous, because I'm still on the old strats of course, so I'm just like, I don't dream of doing that. So
yeah. So a 7:35 from Marlin coming out of resort and a 7:41, so still a 6-second lead. Marlin is not giving an inch to Chaikitty as we go into Golden Ridge.
Yeah, both getting 4-1Xs there. I didn't quite see what Marlin's IL was, but I saw the 412 coming after Chai.
Ooh, 412. There we go. All right, so Golden Ridge
number have
again. Oh, Marlin going. Oh, I'm not sure if he overshot a little bit there, but he's going to take a death on the spike.
Wait, are you saying Marlin
an
also
opportunity?
got 412?
He's again even more on his heels than he was before.
So what was the significance of 412? Sorry.
It's just, I don't know, it was just a meme that I heard M Sushi say a bunch at Pace. Not really sure what the context is. I haven't been a part of the community that long, but they were just yelling out 412 all over the place at Pace, and it was really funny.
I don't recall, but okay.
So we've got Marlin able to just kind of inching on, trying to hold on to that lead a little bit more, but the one death definitely allows for Chai to make up some room.
Yeah. We do have some things that you'll see, definitely. If you were paying attention to the qualifiers, this chapter might stand out to you a little bit, especially for the second auto-scroller that Marlin will be coming up to in a couple screens.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a new skip or just one that was found recently to make it a lot more RTA viable. But
it was
before,
the second, the latter. It was known for a while by a task, but it just was not easily done. And a death has allowed Chaikitty to catch up, and they are on the same screen, folks.
They're on the same screen, but I still think Marlin's got it by like 2 seconds.
Yeah, the IGT is a little bit fast, like
and
better, and
both of them are able to get the skip.
It.
Oh, it's so hard to tell who's in front right now.
Chaikitty doing the lower route, so I'm pretty sure Marlin's sticking the lead right now.
Oh, this is such a close race, and no,
Chaikitty!
It's a little bit stuck up there, and that's going to definitely let Marlin know that he is in the lead as we go into the cliff face section. One of the hardest, personally, in my opinion, one of the hardest sections of the game, because that wind mechanic just does not like to be your friend, as it makes you move so much slower, which you really couldn't tell from these runners just with the speed. Oh, Marlin takes a death. Chaikitty, and he dies again. Chaikitty is able to jump himself into the lead now.
Yeah, that is a definite lead for Chaikitty. Got a couple of screens on Marlin.
Chaikitty is able to be ahead by a couple of seconds. Marlin kind of tripping up there a little bit himself as he moves into the last screen. A 10:23 for Chaikitty.
That's a 2:40 chapter 4.
Wow. He was able to make up so much time. 10:23 for Chai and a 10:27 for Marlin. Chai was able to go from being 6 seconds behind now to being about 4 seconds ahead as we go into Chapter 5. Folks, we got ourselves a really good race here.
Yeah. And moving into the kind of scary chapters here.
Yeah, definitely. We are looking at some of the more mechanically difficult chapters, which
honestly, honestly, in my mind, if there was an emote to describe this would be like Monka Jam.
Oh, definitely.
Because it's just like you're loving the music, but god damn, is it a hard stage.
Yeah, definitely. As we look at, Chapter 5 is the inclusion of using a B-side route to go faster. Oh, Chaikitty coming up on Yeet, and he is able to pull it off very cleanly. Very well done for him. Marlin now on Yeet himself, and he pulls it off. Very well done. Both runners able to get Yeet. So, again, as I was saying, we've got...
Ooh! Chai missing the button. Okay, we're good.
Well, I can't seem to be able to explain anything.
Sorry.
So, Chapter 5 includes using the B-side route, which is going to be faster than just sticking through and doing Chapter 5 all on the A side. Which makes for a very interesting routing even more, because B-side chapters are significantly tougher than A-sides. If you guys think the A-sides are tough, you'll definitely see it come through here in 5B. And also with 5B comes a trick known as Bubs Drop, which has like about a 2-frame window or something like that to save.
It's complicated of what exactly it is, but it's just a 2-frame window.
Yeah, 2-frame window trick, and if you fail it, it's about 10 seconds to lose. So Chaikitty now being the first one to have his attempt at Bubs Drop. He comes up, and he's able to get it first try.
Nice.
Marlin right behind him. He gets it first try as well. Both runners are continuing to be very, very close.
But
very well done from both runners. Definitely. Bubs Drop can be one of those tricks that will be really, really tough for some runners.
Oh! Okay, we're good.
Okay, not really sure what was going on there on the side of Marlin, but that was really close.
Yeah, he just didn't get high enough with his reverse hyper there. Chai, I don't know why he didn't get a cycle, I'm guessing. Shaking his head, and I wasn't entirely sure why, but I guess just cycles or something.
Either. So Chai going at a 12:48 as he enters the mirror. Marlin at a 12:50. There's a 2-second difference between these two runners as we go into the mirror section, which is very, very mechanically challenging because you have these seekers that just like to...
Chai's face during that
from Chaikitty as he shows that seeker whose boss knocks him into the coin and continues to press on. As you can see here, a lot of these skips that are used in 5B very, very mechanically challenging. But these runners make it look easy as they put thousands upon thousands of hours into this game, just continuing to grind it down and push their times, push themselves to be the best that they can be. And definitely, as we look at the top 5 runners on the leaderboard, every single one of them has a potential of being an any % world record holder, despite the gap being increased with Marlin coming through with the 27:34.
I love the topics that you're going on, but these are really hard screens, and I'd rather just talk about them.
Oh, these are very, very hard screens, and both of these runners are making them look so easy.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, interesting strat from Chai there, but he makes it work and is able to finish up with a 14:04 B-side, and he's jumping right into reflection, not even taking the break. I think we're looking at less than a second difference between the runners here. This is absolutely crazy as we're in the second to last chapter, Reflection.
I'm gonna have to ask here because I didn't see the 27:34. What is, like, how is Marlin, like, Summit now? Like, has it gotten better? Is he still at the 8:18 that I saw in the 27:43?
I think he had an 8:10.
Okay, so he's still about
Chaikitty
the same.
getting a fail off of on Lake Skip, having to do it again. That will be an opportunity for Marlin to make up some time there and potentially get the lead. We're getting a little bit of some IGT desync here because Chai just jumped right in, didn't get himself a break. I think Marlin might be ahead by a couple of seconds as he's able to snag Lake Skip first try.
And
But yeah,
so,
all eyes will definitely be on the summit here between these two runners as Marlin, yeah, he had an 8:10 summit in his 27:34.
Yeah. And so, yeah, in my mind, I feel like that really will be throughout the league, honestly, where Marlin like might be a little lacking is that his summit is like compared to some of the other runners like that are getting low 8 minutes, like 80X's like easily. Well, not easily, but you know what I mean. And compared to Marlin, who's in his runs, that is the parts where he loses the most time. So like that really is gonna be something to watch for him throughout the season.
Oh, Chaikitty kind of stumbling a little bit there on the ultra wave dash, but he's able to back it up pretty well. That is one of the things.
Okay, whether or not Marlin has good IL times, there's a difference between ILs
taking
and
a death there.
Okay, and it's been clear for the last 2 runs that he's not able to fully do it in a run as opposed to an IL.
Yeah, Marlin takes a death himself. Oh, Chaikitty, you can see the look of just Monka S on his face. He almost dashes down into the spikes, but is able to stay alive. This has been a very, very close race the whole time. I think Marlin might have the... Yeah, Marlin's got the lead here by less than 10 seconds as both runners are now coming up into just short of the battle and boost into the battle and fight, which is the craziest and most intense part of the run, and it'll be really interesting to see how this will affect the race, because very easily a battle and fight can make or break a run for anybody. So now Chaikitty on the developer intended shortcuts does a very good job at executing those, with Marlin right behind, kind of, with the IGT desync. It's really hard to tell who's in the lead and who's not. So we've got a 17 minutes entering battle and boost for Chaikitty. And 16:54, so about a 6-second lead for Marlin as we are entering the battle and fight. Chaikitty has a very clean battle and boost. Marlin right behind, playing that both very well. And so now we've got the battle and fight. Like I said, arguably the most intense part of the run. The music is pumping, Battlin is ready to fight. But both of these runners are here to prove to Battlin that they are, in fact, mountain climbers. And I don't know if they haven't proved it already, just with the rest of the run. But Battlin seems to, like, just tell them that they're not mountain climbers, despite all of the speed and everything that they are able to just perform.
Well, I mean, our vertical distance isn't as great as our horizontal distance coverage.
That's a fair point.
The climbing might be hard for us. We're pretty good at navigating.
Chaikitty grabs the feather. Chaikitty grabbing the feather, not too happy with himself on that. Marlin able to go with the featherless, saving himself a little bit more time there. Both runners continuing to move their way through. Chaikitty only a little bit off the starting round 2. Marlin, of course, I think still slightly ahead. 18:27 on that touch. Oh, Marlin kind of getting a little bit of a hiccup. 18:21, so still about a 6-second difference between the runners. Very, very close race. An excellent way to start out this league. Like I said, you know, Marlin comes through, dominates in the qualifiers, takes world record. Eyes are definitely going to be on him this season, but also we can't count out Chaikitty either. He was able to do a top 4 finish first season in season 1, as well as he's been grinding out his any % time to put himself in 3rd place on the leaderboards, being actually he was the 2nd person to achieve the 27. In comparison to recorded 27, sorry. Vlad was able to get a 27.
I was like, wait a second.
Sorry, almost hiccuped on that. Glad I caught myself. But, so still definitely looking at seeing where potentially Chai could be looking at improving his standings and continuing to show everybody that he is still a top runner. despite, I mean, he still has proven that he is a top runner, but continuing to show that and potentially looking to dethrone some of the people who are up top. So both of them finishing up the battle and fight very cleanly, looking at about a 1954 reflection for Chaikitty. Marlin coming up with probably a 1951, maybe 1950.
Yeah,
so
and I
about
will-
a 5-second difference as we go into the summit. And it will be very interesting to see how these runners close this race out. Considering, you know, as we look at it, Marlin with an 8:10 summit in his world record that being one of the weaker chapters of his, as the rest of the runners are able, well, at least I know Chaikitty is fairly consistent at getting 80Xs in his summits.
Don't worry about the resync train. The resync will happen. You know, things happen. We're just waiting for both. You know, of course, you did have to wait for both of them to start. I will check with the resync. But yeah, right now we are dealing with Marlin definitely in the lead.
Yeah, Marlin in the lead right now as we go into he goes into 500 meters. I'll probably be doing a best chance I can to do some timestamps of the runners as they finish up their individual meter sections, just so that way you guys can get a better idea of who's in the lead until the resync is able to happen. So, oh, very close. I thought for sure Chai was going to hit those spikes, but he's able to very cleanly avoid them and continue on. Chai is putting in a very, very good summit, as he's going to be finishing up his 500 meters at 21:17. Marlin obviously right on his heels, slightly ahead due to the IGT desync. Oh, Marlin kind of picking up right there, so he's going to be at 21:14, so a little bit, about a 3-second lead still for Marlin. This is very, very close race. Chai now moving through his 1,000 meters. I gotta say, 1,000 meters is probably my favorite part of Summit, but I also probably like Old Sight the most out of all the other chapters, just because of the dream blocks. The dream blocks add for just such satisfying movement that you're able to do throughout the game. And I'm really glad that you're able to see that all again in the Summit as you kind of wrap up going through everything that you've seen and just been able to experience. 22:04 for Chaikitty coming out of 1,000 meters. Again, Marlin coming up right behind, looking at a 22:00, so again, only about a 3.5-ish second lead as we're in 1,500.
Yeah, moving through some of the logger screens now. 1,500 meters is really the start of Summit in my mind. Like,
yeah, definitely.
The other two sections are walks in the park compared to the rest.
A death here is very, very punishing for any of the runners. So for them, definitely this is going to be the section to look out for. And Chai moving, both runners actually not taking a death in 1,500. And this is where, if there is going to be a lead swap, Marlin would have to either take a death or have some massive hiccup. 22:58 for Chai as he comes out of 1,500. Very good time for him.
Marlin, maybe not quite. Okay.
22:54, so he's still at about a 4-second difference over Chai.
I forgot about all the alley-oop stuff, so for a second I thought Marlin had become even faster.
Oh, no.
than Chai.
The alley-oop stuff can definitely throw you off, but again, you know, we're at 2,000. Chaikitty going for the auto-scroller skip as the resync happens. Monka S. All right, Marlin now, we've got eyes on him. He's dropping, but he's still going to be going for the auto-scroller skip. He gets it.
Pass now.
Cleans up. Very well done. He's able to get it. Chaikitty was able to get it himself. Folks, there's not been a death here, and they are literally neck and neck. Marlin maybe has... it's so hard to tell. 23:43 there.
Yeah.
But Marlin's got about 2 seconds.
Chaikitty taking a deep breath before going into the rest of the stuff on the end of that auto-scroller, because he's getting ready for what's to come.
that auto scroller skip is honestly arguably the hardest, well, it's one of the hardest tricks in the game, and for both runners to be able to pull it out like that, very well done. That right there, I was thinking if something was going to change, it was going to happen at the auto scroller skip, but both runners are able to pull it off. I didn't see what the time there was difference, but it only looked like about 2 seconds as we enter 2,500 meters.
Okay, and yeah, here coming into the start. Oh, Chaikitty missing the boost there. Gotta get key skip going.
Key skip for Marlin. That key skip has not really been a struggle for any of these runners, so not surprised here to see both of them pull it off really cleanly. Looks like Marlin's still able to pull off a lead, got a couple of seconds.
Yeah, Marlin exiting that bubble screen just as Chaikitty enters it, and Marlin onto door skip.
Both doors are able to be skipped. Chaikitty
Chai dying on the door
skip. Chaikitty.
I don't know what that face was. Was that a
what
yawn?
He's doing right now. Getting really frustrated as he knows that he is in the last section of this race. Not much left at all. Marlin now entering 3,000 meters at a 25:21.
And yeah, Chai not happy, but he's gonna do his best here in the final 30 flags to catch up to Marlin.
I want to see some hype in the chat. This race is so close. Yes, Marlin is able to give himself a little bit more of an extended lead going into 3,000 with that death from Chai on door skip, but this race is still not over. There's still at least 20 flags for both runners, over 20 flags for both runners to overcome yet. So there's still a couple minutes left. Definitely some time for Chaikitty to be able to make up time. And right now, though, this race is Marlin's to lose as he's taken the lead. 26:06 as he gets that alley-oop into updraft. And a 26:16, so he got a 10-second lead for Marlin. But now we're in some of the longer screens as the runners don't opt for as many of the checkpoints here. So a death here can be very, very punishing.
Yeah, a lot of these, with the updraft section coming in, it's really some of the longer screens, especially like the teens is really where it gets annoying, especially this flag right here that Marlin's taking. Luckily able to get through it. Chai just starting it.
And right behind as now Marlin's continuing to move through. Chaikitty's able to hit all the key coins. Marlin not hitting that flag there, so a death here, like I said, would be very, very detrimental, but he's able to get that flag moving on to flag 7, continuing to keep his lead, not giving Chaikitty any room to try and catch up.
Yeah, I will give a quick reminder. We're not gonna hit it at this point, but I'm just gonna say that the current record in the league record for races is a 27:53 by TGH. So that is something to keep in mind. I don't think we're anywhere near that pace right now. I think we're actually about 10 seconds behind that pace on Marlin's side.
Low 28.
Yeah.
Low 28 from both runners. As Marlin hits flag 2, he's looking to close out this run. We're getting up over to flag 1 on Marlin's side. Chaikitty trying to do whatever he can to catch up.
Okay, we're somewhere close.
Yeah, we're pretty close to probably looking at actually, it won't be a record, but yeah, it will be very close. Getting a 27:57 from Marlin. Very, very solid first race time for him in week 1. First race of the season, pulling out a 28:07 for Chaikitty. Actually, that's a really good summit for Marlin with the 8:06, better than in his PB. So that was very well done from both runners. GG's to everybody. That summit was very well done by both runners. 28:08 and a 27:57 from Marlin. That was very well done. When we got Marlin going to be opting out of the interview here, but we're still going to have Chaikitty hopping in here whenever for his interview. Again, really solid.
Hello.
GG Chaikitty, very, very good race time. Yeah, you were able to come out. You weren't able to come out on top, but still very well done.
Thank you. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
That we
Sweet.
can. So you had the one death and door skip there where you looked really confused as to what exactly you were doing. What
Oh
did
yeah,
you,
I
miss
entered
input,
the, I entered the
or-
room wrong. I dashed through the room weird, and I didn't know what to do. So I should have just reset as soon as I entered the room, but I don't know
Okay.
what I was I don't know what I was trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that door skip's a funky one. If you go into it at the wrong angle, it can definitely
Yeah,
flip
I mean
off.
it's like because you have to like that first like after the first ledge, like I think I entered or like I started falling like between the ledge and the wall, but you need to get to the end of the wall, and like I don't know, I just like dashed weird, so I was in a weird spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
Not a
really
big deal.
I do want to
So-
say it's been really useful having the webcam this whole time. So
Yeah. Yep. it was
Yeah,
good.
I was sure to give a lot of facial expressions.
you definitely
Yeah.
delivered on that.
I think you had one in like 5B or something where you just had this like intense scowl, and it was so funny. I don't remember what exactly the situation.
I mean,
was,
I-
but it was great.
from what I saw, it
5B
it
was
kinda-
fine, though.
Yeah, it kind of looked like when you hit the seeker into the key, you kind of gave like a not bad face in my mind.
Oh
Oh, it was
yeah.
supposed to be like let's go, like good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that was good. That was good. So do we ask about the death in the prologue or no?
I mean, there's not really much to say. I
Yeah.
just jumped.
Yeah,
I just-
I'll
I just
start
jumped
chatting.
Because I was just like, wow, what a great way to start it off, dying in the prologue.
Yeah, I
on
mean,
week
it's like the
one,
kind of
so-
thing that it happens sometimes, but you never think about it or practice it because you just reset. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's because I was going for like that greedy third jump to save those 2 extra frames, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. You got punished for it, but you know what? You still pulled out a very impressive
Yeah, I mean,
run,
in the end, it wouldn't have really
28.
mattered that much anyway. So
Yeah. But
Yeah,
still, a
that's better than
28.
any of your times from season 1, I think. So.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reflection.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty happy with how the rest of the run went. I mean, Temple was a little sloppy, mostly in 5A, but Reflection was the only part that I would say was like really bad. So
Yeah, I mean, even still, pulling out a 28.08, already better than anything you pulled out in season 1. So very well done.
yeah,
how you
I'm
feeling
definitely
going
happy with
into next
that
week?
time. I mean, I kind of figured that Marlin was probably going to get a 27, but I figured like no matter what the outcome was, if I could get a low 28, that would be a win. So I'm definitely
Yeah.
happy with this.
So next week you are playing Flad. How are
Yes, that
you
is
feeling going
correct.
into that week?
I mean, I think yeah, Flad's also a really good runner. If I can get a time like this, I think I might be able to win. It's hard to say. I don't know how much he's been playing lately, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty decent in that. We're doing our match pre-recorded, so that'll be
Okay.
actually in a few days on Sunday. So
Yeah, but none of us will see that until
oh, of
next
course,
Thursday.
yeah, no, we won't say anything.
Keep
Yeah,
your mouth
don't-
shut, Shy.
Yeah,
No
don't
spoilers.
say anything, especially like don't tell us that Flad like does a 27 for a first time recorder or something, because that could happen in my mind.
Oh, I don't put that past Flad at all. All
He's been
right,
fighting
so
for that for so long.
he has, yeah. So again, GG's Chai, GG's to both runners. We're gonna go into an intermission here in just a little bit. Chai, do you have anything to say as sort of like your parting words?
Just yeah, thanks so much for commentating, guys. Hope everybody enjoyed the race, and yeah, shout outs to Archie, our favorite green cheek Kanye.
Yeah,
Archie.
Good bird. So yeah, coming up next, don't go anywhere. We still, it's just the first game of Celeste of the day. So coming up next, we got Fladerby versus Archie Boy, named after the bird. He isn't the bird. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, we'll be back here in just a couple of minutes. Again, GG's to Chai, GG's to you, Marlin. Good race. Really exciting to see where you guys go off in that. in this league. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and hand it over in intermission.